visit some brother out on my call. This is the moment you're meant to know.
Well, hello there, sunflowers, and how are you guys today? While somehow I always find a way to mysteriously, magically represent black and pink. Yeah, that's great and that's amazing. Also, in honor of Jump, I have done my makeup to kind of symbolize the theme that they was going for in the music video. However, you guys are going to get a bonus reading today because I'm going to pull some cards just to see how Blackpink is doing on their tour. However, I am here today because somebody wanted me to do a reading on Blackpink's Lisa and Jennie, see how their friendship, relationship, situationship is going on. I have no idea what's going on with Jennie and Lisa at this point, and I'm quite curious to find out, especially now that they are back together as Blackpink. However, before I run it all down for you guys, let's talk about how surprisingly the long-awaited Deadline tour is mixed reviews. I'm surprised it has mixed reviews. Where do I even begin with these mixed reviews? Because I'm just honestly astonished and flabbergasted that I have no idea where to even start. Let's just start with the music video period for Jump, and I thought it was good. It was great. The second I listened to it, I was just like, oh yes, this is my kind of song. I like EDM music, so Blackpink killed it once again for me. However, there were some visuals along the way that were quite peculiar and interesting, but I just chopped it up to weird editing, and that's the style that they were going for. However, everybody on the internet is actually talking about how this music video is AI generated. I could believe it. I can honestly believe it, but all the instances that they've pointed out of how the lip syncing is not even right and how it's just weird movements, I was just like, oh my god. YG really did produce us a AI edited music video. Now I assumed it was CGI. Apparently, I must be old school to be thinking CGI is still going to be a thing people use because clearly what I thought was CGI was clearly AI. So, I mean, computer generated image, AI, same diff, right? So, because of that, yeah, fans aren't happy at that at all. There are three sentiments that people are feeling about this comeback, which is exactly why I'm going to be doing a reading on Blackpink as a group as a whole in this tour, because fans feel as though they have waited so long for Blackpink to come back, and this is what they give us. I like it, but I'm speaking for the general fans. They feel like this is what YG gives us, a AI generated music video and a song that's pretty much empty. Two, this we have waited so long for Blackpink to come back together as a group to show us that they haven't entirely disbanded. And as soon as they get back together, we feel as though they're just a bunch of solo artists being forced to perform on stage. So Blackpink disband. And then the third sentiment out there is the fact that fans was waiting for this tour, and I get it. The tour, people that was on the tour, the first few days of the tour, they got to hear Jump pre-released basically before it came out to us general public. However, fans were kind of upset about that and feel as though the tour is lackluster, and they feel like they want their money back. So I don't know. Blinks are pretty upset, but there's a whole other side of the fans that are enjoying it, loving it. I'm loving it. The girls look like they're loving it. I don't see what fans are quite particularly seeing. However, I'm not at the concert, so I'm only going based off of different video footage I can see. So that's exactly why we're going to pull some quick cards, just a 3-card spread, just to see how Blackpink is doing as a group before I read on Jennie and Lisa. Which honestly, I'm not seeing much of Jin Lisa on this tour. I'm seeing a lot of Che Lisa, and I wonder if that's going to pop up in the reading. I'm just saying. But yeah, let's just pull these cards. Oh, and also fans feel as though Jisoo is completely uncomfortable with some of the dance choreography, and people are actually praising Jisoo for staying the same and not changing. They feel like everybody else in Blackpink, I guess, has become Americanized and is wearing too much revealing clothing and wants to do provocative dancing. And Jisoo seems to be the only one uncomfortable with it and sticking to K-pop. So people were praising Jisoo for that one. So yeah, fans. Yeah, I don't. I like I said, I'm flabbergasted. I can't even rationalize. I'm a little bit heartbroken. I'm a little bit heartbroken at the blinks. I am kind of, but hey, every fan has their each to their own. I'm just glad I'm in the boat with the fans that enjoy the music, because I would probably be right there hating with you guys. Honestly, I'm not even kidding. So, with that being said, let's just pull some cards on Blackpink and how their Deadline World Tour is doing so far. Okay, just a 3-card spread. That's all we're going to do for Blackpink. I think that was a 3-card spread. I swear, every time I read on Blackpink, and I use these cards, Courthouse always pops up. I don't know how, I don't know why, I don't know who. And I say that every time I see this reading. However, the first card that seems to come out for Blackpink is contracts, literally written commitments. And then we have the expectation, which is the expectation of Blackpink coming together. They was put on the pedestal. They had high expectations, high standards. The bar was pretty high for Blackpink. And because of that, fans are now, maybe we as the general audience are now the people's court of opinion, and we are judging Blackpink based off the expectations that we've had. And due to the contracts that Blackpink has signed, the question is, let's just see what this at the bottom of the deck. We have a courtship. Well, I can't quite say that Blackpink is going to disband after this, but I can say that due to the obligations, maybe they could have been forced to come back for this. But the girls are making it the best that they can, because this courtship is going for the experience, going for the ride, getting back into the groove of things. You know, they're a little out of touch with K-pop, so they got to come back to the industry. But honestly, they're glowing, they're beautiful. The ladies look like they're having a bunch of fun on stage to me. I don't see a single negative card in this that I've just pulled. Literally, none of these cards are negative, period. So I don't even see any concern, honestly, besides maybe the courthouse. And a literal courthouse doesn't have to mean going to a trial. A courthouse or having contracts and legality issues. I mean, that could be too. Who knows? That's always the flip side of things. However, I just see it as on the surface level, just us as the people judging Blackpink and their Deadline tour. And because we put them on the pedestal, we had so many expectations. YG ran us around in a circle, not telling us when Blackpink was going to be coming back, when their debut was, when their comeback was, what the song was. No teasers, no nothing. They basically left the fans in the dark. And because fans were left in the dark, when they got to experience it on tour, it was a mixed review. Fans couldn't. Hey, I mean, I want to say the fact that it had mixed reviews, it was probably best that YG debuted that on tour, but also the fans that didn't like it, I'm so sorry for you guys, especially because I'm sure you guys wanted your money back. So because of that, I didn't see any negative cards for Blackpink. Honestly, the girls looked like they were, they looked like it was pretty much chilling with each other. The courtship definitely symbolizes in the stages of growing and getting back together, getting back to the groove of things. So literally, they're having fun. They're enjoying. I know Lisa. out of all the girls, I know Lisa is the most excited to be back with her girls because she said it herself that she missed being with Blackpink, being a solo artist was kind of empty on stage. So at least Lisa got her dream back. I wonder how all the other ladies feel. Jisoo has been busy acting, so I'm not sure how she feels to be back on stage. Jennie, I don't know, since she had did her Jennie experience, she's been pretty much MIA besides being a brand ambassador. So I don't know what she's really been up to since that in this tour. And then Rose's just been busy. You're right. Rose was probably the most active out of all the Blackpink members. The most brand deals, the most sponsorships, the most contracts, in my opinion. So Rose has been a very, very busy girl. So with that being said, for them to all come back in schedule wise, it's just great to see. So let's just pull these cards for Lisa and Jennie and see how they're doing. That's all I got. I'm gonna stop trying to label at this point because I can't label what Jennie and Lisa has. I just can't. All I can do is just infer. So let's see. Also, whatever happened to Frederick Arnold, Lisa's green eye bandit? Okay. So I like this. The first card to come out is the Hierophant for the girls. So let's see what's surrounding these Hierophant. We have the Queen of Wands. We have the Two of Swords. I like that. We have the Eight of Wands. Interesting. And the Lovers. Just when I thought it couldn't get any more interesting. So let's see what's in these corners as outside influences. The High Priestess. Jesus, these girls can never seem to catch a break with all these High Priests, with all these major Arcana cards. Yeah, wow. For real, guys. All right. There is four out of the 9 cards. So half of the cards here are major Arcana cards. So for what's going on between Jennie and Lisa, it goes deep, for real. And you wouldn't know it just looking at it on stage. And just looking at how deep it goes with Jennie and Lisa, I see that it's repressed energy. It is a love-hate relationship where they're like working to mend things. So let's just honestly break it down even more. This is just looking at like an overview just based off of the major Arcana cards I saw. But starting in their past before we get to their present. In the past, we had the High Priestess. Well, actually, we had the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords usually symbolizes a cutting off. A cutting off could symbolize a sense of an isolation. Well, not an isolation, but a separation of yourself. Like you're not engaging with them as much. Jennie and Lisa could have been less on talking terms. They could have been sporadically talking to each other or just not talking to each other at all, period. And because of that, in the past, why did they just happen to just split their separate ways for the time being that they needed for each other? Well, first we have the Hierophant, not the Hierophant, we have the Hermit, and the Hermit is all about isolation, but it's the isolation that you create in order to do some soul searching within yourself. So that's exactly what Jennie or Lisa or both of them had to do. They needed to separate. They like literally needed a break from each other, not just a break from Blackpink, but just a break from each other. Get to know each other, who they are, without being around each other. And that's exactly where this High Priestess comes in. Now I come back to it, where the High Priestess is all about going within, searching within those layers of yourself. And all of these cards, actually, including the Hierophant where we are today, They're still in that energy of trying to figure out, maneuver around each other, because this Hierophant card is all about trying to conform, trying to have some sort of commitment, learning to work together with each other. They have been so apart from each other that now to be back together with each other, there could have been some things that maybe somebody was doing some avoidance and trying to use work as a distraction. There could have been somebody else that really took some time, use music to vent a little bit, do some like real in-depth searching within herself, and has been able to deal with those feelings that she had to deal with when she was in Blackpink, and now to be back in that same environment with like a new flavor, with new perspectives and new attitudes from these ladies. It's like nostalgic in a way, but new territory, and trying to figure out where do we go from here, because it's still not clear how Jennie and Lisa feel for each other. But the Queen of Wands definitely symbolizes that somebody is still affectionate, still like hot, even. I'm not sure if we mean hot like in temper, or like hot in desires, or just hot in the sense of they understand their full power, their full energy, their full magnetism, and isn't willing to shrink themselves, instead of, and because they're a queen, shrink themselves in the sense of they're a queen, but they shrink themselves down to be like a princess. Like somebody has realized they need to be fully blown within themselves, not allow themselves to get lost within this connection, whatever Jennie and Lisa has. And that's where this Eight of Wands comes in. More wand energy right here in the present energy. And Eight of Wands is all about moving on, getting on to that next phase kind of quickly, honestly, but it's like a spark. Maybe it's like it finally hit one of them or both of them when they had to start getting around each other, having to start putting on airs again when they're on stage, trying to having to perform. You know exactly how this K-pop industry goes. They got to give some fan service for us fans. They know us fans are going to be looking. So because of that, it's playing into all those things that they didn't have to do when they weren't Blackpink. And because of that, maybe one person is able to keep up the charades and the other one is just genuinely trying to express emotions. And because there's that like slight disconnect between them, but they both still have a warmth and friendly energy with each other, it doesn't quite translate off on stage. So on stage they look like they're cool with each other, they look like they're having a great time, they look like they are not beefing or they're struggling with each other or it's awkward. So because of that, these ladies have extreme professionalism. So whatever's going on behind closed doors, clearly with all these major arcana cards, it hasn't quite surfaced yet for us to see it visually. So it hasn't manifested physically. It's still inward and still tension and still in the atmosphere. Which brings us to the future for Lisa and Jennie. And we have the Lovers. Now, this could be the Lovers as in the sense of unconditional love. Like, I love you no matter what. You like my Blackpink girly. You love my sister. You know, whatever we had in the past was in the past. And whatever we have in the forward, I'm ready to move forward. You know, we've transitioned. We've been able to work through all this. You know, I love you like a family member. I don't want to completely lose you, but like what we had, I like don't want it. That's the kind of energy that I'm kind of getting with this Lovers, especially because surrounding the Lovers, we have at the very bottom, which is a great place to have a 4, because the 4 is all about foundations. But this 4 symbol, the 4 of Pentacles in particular, I see that as a very solid foundation. But the 4 of Pentacles can also be, and I quite often forget, very stubborn and selfish and quite hoardy, possessive even. So because of that, that's beneath the surface. That's what they are either learning to overgrow and overcome and allow to like love each other without that sense of possessiveness, that sense of toxicity, or they're able to have a new sense of foundation where they're not so much selfish in the sense of I don't want to share you. I don't want you to have these friends. I don't want you to do this and do this or that without me. You know, I want to be like around you like 24/7, see what you do and see what's up in your life. Yeah, you know, that kind of thing. It kind of gets a little bit obsessive and concerning when it gets to that kind of level, but also at the same time, when you are immature in the past and now you guys have grown up to be grown adults and you've gotten to experience life outside of Blackpink. So to come together, you can come to each other with fresh eyes, a fresh perspective, a fresh energy. And so because of that, they are able to they mend whatever could have broken them in the past and mold it into a new, fresh friendship into the future going forward, because they truly do authentically love each other no matter what kind of love they had for each other. And then I see here at the Nine of Cups at the very top, the Nine of Cups symbolizing not completely satisfied, but satisfied enough, quite content. You know, if there's some things that I didn't get to have all together, maybe it's because of our past. We can't be where I would like, where we are, where we could be today, but I still have you in my life. So I'm still appreciative of that. So let me just enjoy and be satisfied with what pieces I am able to get from you, is what I'm picking up for Jennie and Lisa. However, we're going to pull some outcome cards just to see how Jennie and Lisa's friendship, I think I can finally call it, is doing. Guys, I think we finally got a breakthrough. I think we finally have been able to pinpoint a label for Jennie and Lisa. But this outcome oracle deck will tell me everything I need to know. Okay. All right, Jennie and Lisa. How are you guys? How's Jennie and Lisa in their connection ship? Okay. I think I will leave it exactly there because that is chef's kiss on this reading. I got good vibes, feeling good about a situation, being positive, good atmosphere, communication, and good luck. I think this is honestly the best reading I've ever gotten out of Jennie and Lisa, just energetic reading, period. I mean, besides the fact it was some heavy cards here with the major arcana cards, but it's not like somebody's like heartbroken, unreciprocated love, feeling left behind, feeling used. Like these are all the things I was picking up when they separated and was doing their own solo things. Like that's the energy I was getting between Jennie and Lisa, feeling like you're leaving me behind, you're going on with life and I'm still here heartbroken looking at you enjoying your life. Like that, those were the vibes I was getting, and I did not get any of that right here. So it's like whoever was feeling that sort of way, like I said, they had to take their time. They had to separate. And that separation for both of them was hard. And both of them processed it differently. But however each chose to process it, they obviously got over it in the best way that they could get over it. So now that they are back together and back within each other's atmospheres and orbiting around each other, there's no hate, there's no animosity, there's no resentment, there's no sadness. It's just good old times again. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this reading on Jennie and Lisa. I sure did. That was like the best reading ever. Honestly, I'm glad we finally got some good vibes for Jennie and Lisa, and I can present a good, happy reading for you guys. So with that being said, please share this amongst other blanks. We need to get this positive message out for Jennie and Lisa. Everything I do say is allegedly. I do not know these Blackpink members. As I have the banner running across below, everything I do say in this video is allegedly alleged, and it's all for entertainment purposes only as well. I'm just checking in to see what friendship, situation, love ship, connection ship these two girls got with each other. Just checking in on their vibes, and we got good vibrations. So Nothing puts me in a jollier mood than that, honestly. I love good vibes. So, with that being said, and I love love, literally, period, no matter what kind of love it is. Love makes the world go round. If we could just have peace and unconditional love and understanding and be able to respect one another, no matter what our differences are, we would honestly have better lives and better existences and probably would honestly live longer if you ask me. But I digress. This is just such a great message. I've been rejuvenated, honestly. I could keep going about this, and that's why I'm just like, I feel such great vibes just looking at the girls from Blackpink on tour. I know I read on half of the ladies, but still, if half the ladies are enjoying themselves, I'm sure the other half has to be too. And based off of the videos I was seeing, I'm just like, this is all a great time, and everybody's kind of dogging on the vibes. And um I get it. Everybody has their opinions. Everybody wants what they want. They have their favorites. They like what they like. But let's just enjoy the fact and simple that this may just be the last time we see Blackpink. And I know you guys want Blackpink to disband, some of you guys, but if they really do disband, are we really going to be happy about that? Like, let's be honest. We love these girls. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Like I said, please subscribe. Please share this video with anybody that's into Blackpink, is into Jennie and Lisa, whoever wants to have good vibes, good energy in their life. Share that forward. But more importantly, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Um, Usually K-pop will go on the weekend, Saturday or Sunday. I will try to do Saturday. So if you guys give me comments throughout the week about who you want me to do readings on, just know you might get 1 or 2 videos that weekend on a Saturday or maybe a Sunday, depending. And yeah. So K-pop videos once to twice a week, depending on what you guys suggest. So with that being said, K-pop isn't gone, guys. I still enjoy K-pop. I'm still listening to a bunch of artists. YG and the Black Label has been pretty busy this last month with a whole bunch of groups. So I am quite honestly keeping up. And of course BTS and Twice, but I digress, right? So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this. And also, I know there's a whole scandal out there of one of the members from NCT. Don't think I did not know about that. My heart literally dropped. I was like, no, not Tail. I'm like, no, they really did get him. So, yeah, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed that. I had to share that. And if you do not know, NCT was literally the group that got me into K-pop back in 2018. So to know that good old silent goody two shoes Tail is not at all what his image is that he had in the industry. It's just, this is mind boggling. What the way labels clean you up and give you a persona and a role to perform and act is amazing. It's amazing. Teo had me convinced. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I'm sorry I had to just vent that one out there because I just had to vent that one out there because it's my group that I love. If I'm going to talk about Blackpink, I'm going to also talk about NCT 2 there. So with that being said, now I think I've given you guys everything that I've been keeping up with in the K-pop industry, even though you guys don't get quite K-pop content from me often. So with that being said, told you guys to subscribe and play this forward, but more importantly, give this video a thumbs up for just the content. If you enjoyed the content or if you love, hey, like, thumbs up, hearts, keeps the world going around and keeps this channel in the algorithm. That's another way you can play us forward, please and thank you. With that being said, please leave your comments down below like I've mentioned throughout the video. Tell me, how do you feel about Blackpink, how you blinks feel about the tour, what we're seeing off of TikTok, and how do you feel about Jennie and Lisa? So that being said, I will see you sunflowers in the next one. Sunflowers!